Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Preacher Season 2, Episode 4. It's called Viktor. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. Now, obviously, this is a couple of days late. That is just an unfortunate schedule. Well, I say scheduling. Connor got extra hours at work out of nowhere at last minute. That was basically the problem.
Yeah.
So we're here now. You might notice there was nothing with Connor on the channel for like about 2 days. And that's why. But we're here now, and basically, obviously, we promised we'd do one more Preacher and see how we felt, because we were really down in the last episode and we weren't sure if we wanted to keep going. So we're here now with episode 4, and I will say it's better than episode 3. I did think there was more enjoyable moments sprinkled in there. I thought there was some more better Cassidy humour. There's a particular scene with the casting guy that I thought was pretty funny and was cracking me up.
Yeah, but I think all the problems that we had are still there.
Oh, I do as well. I think the biggest thing for me that shows that I'm really not into this show that much is the final moment of the episode. And again, we're in full spoilers. The final cliffhanger. This, Jesse all episode is ignoring the fact that Tulip's kind of missing. She's AWOL, and Cassidy knows that she's away to see Viktor probably, but he's kind of keeping quiet, and he's constantly trying to probe him to no, care about Tulip, go after her. Which bothers me a little bit, because I feel like they're maybe setting up that because he has kind of feelings for Tulip, that he might eventually go, oh well, he doesn't deserve her, he's not caring enough, so this will become a proper love triangle. And it might not, I don't know, but that felt like it was kind of like setting seeds for that. But eventually, at the end of the episode, he eventually tells him, he breaks down and says, look, she's been missing now for like a day. And I will say this, I think it's funny that when Cassidy texts, are you okay? In text speak, he types, the R, then the U, then okay. I read that in an Irish accent in my head when I read it on the screen.
John, now that you mention it, so did I.
Yeah. And
I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it.
And I don't know if that's because the abbreviation just inherently looks more Irish, so I read it in Cassidy's voice, or if it's just because I'm thinking about Cassidy. But either way, I read it in an Irish accent.
Yeah.
But so he goes and he storms throughout this mansion where Viktor lives, and he's like using his Genesis left, right, and centre. He's basically just throwing Phil Collins at people as he's walking through the building, and then he has this admittedly pretty decent fight with the torturer guy that Viktor's got on staff. Who's wearing headphones so he can't hear the word of God, so therefore he is able to fight back, and they have this fight scene that's mostly, I don't know if it's all one shot, but it definitely, they filmed it as if it was one shot, and then they maybe cheated once or twice to keep it.
Yeah.
But it was a decent little fight scene. Like it was well done. Like I was like, oh, that was easily more exciting than anything that happened last week. So I'll give them that. But like I said, for me, showing that I'm not really into this show is that he breaks out of the bedroom. She's there with Viktor. I was half expecting them to be having sex for some reason. Just even though nothing else in the episode had hinted that she'd want to do that, it just felt like the twist to have.
Yeah.
But he breaks in and he immediately grabs him and gets him in a strangle. He's strangling, got a chokehold, and Chillip shouts out, "Stop it, Jesse! Don't! He's my husband." And I just didn't care. I went, "Oh God, not this." I rolled my eyes at the revelation. I went, "Oh God, this is going to be a thing." And
yeah.
Rather than being excited by this revelation, I was, oh God, what? No, not more of this marriage drama. Like that was easily, that dragged the episode 2 down. Last episode, it put it in the gutter. Like I just was so.
And now you're gonna have to go through, the whole. Oh, but I thought you didn't like marriage.
Yeah, you're gonna go through that, and I think. Because there's almost like a glimmer of hope as he's like going through the house, because it's like, oh no, he does actually care. Like he's been ignoring her all episode, but he's like, oh no, he's sort of reignited that he thinks he's in trouble. He's going through, but instead of it being this sort of triumphant, oh, okay, right, he does care about me. Let's not be dicks to each other. It became, oh, twist. There's a love triangle, I guess, or a love quad square. I don't know why. I don't know why I was struggling there. It's a square. That's what it's called. It's called a goddamn square.
Got there in the end.
Yeah. But a square is a type of quad something? I'm sure it is. I can't remember the name.
It's gotta be quad something.
It has. Quadrihedral?
Yeah. Doesn't sound right.
That's a thing, though. I'm not just making that word up.
Maybe.
There's definitely something in geometry called a quadrihedral. I'm positive. In a square...
I didn't do very well in geometry.
Because a square, a diamond, a trapezium, they're all types of it. whatever the word is, because they're all four sides.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. There is a word for them.
Yeah. So
We're really bad at this.
We're really bad at this. So yeah, I kind of groaned, and it's not to say that there's actually some fun ideas in this, like this whole thing where Cassidy and Jesse go to the casting guy because they basically he sees on TV. Oh, by the way, probably my favorite line of dialogue in this episode, though, I have to admit, when he's watching the commercial that Frankie Muniz is in, and it's about Katrina and whatever. I don't know what was going on, but it's about all that. And one of the homeless guys says, "I used to go to prostitutes. Now I am one." That line did legitimately crack me up.
That's pretty good.
I think because it is such, it's that like warning infomercial, like about, I don't know, like kids don't do drugs kind of thing. I used to be this, now I am this. Like it's just that, but I don't think I've ever heard it with the word prostitute, and it really cracked me up. So like I say, I'm not totally down in this episode. I think it was much better than last week's, but I definitely still don't care about the main plot, and I do still think the pacing is, every time something I liked happened, it felt like there was a gulf of waiting between each of those things.
Yeah. Do you know what's something I noticed on a technical side that I've not really thought about much is the music. There was a bit towards the end, it might have been when he was going through the house, where I was like, this music's great. And obviously it's Dave Porter, who we love because he does, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And that was the first time I think that I can recall in this show going, yeah, I can hear it. Whereas a lot of the time it feels very generic.
I think that maybe just be a direction. Like they want it to sound.
It probably is a direction choice. I mean, I'm not blaming him. Clearly, we've heard him do far, far better.
Oh yeah.
So, which is why I was like, when I'm just disappointed from a direction level at that point. I'm just like, that's kind of disappointing. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, like I said, I did like the idea about them noticing the actor who was God in the church.
Yeah.
And it made me think, was that just being beamed from somewhere on Earth? But no, when they actually get to see the tape, it's like, no, he rehearsed for the job and then they killed him so he'd go to heaven. And then they could do it in heaven. Which does set up some interesting ideas, like who are these people, who care about this on Earth that send them to heaven? Is this other angels? Is this so-and-so?
I want to know, is the same actor actually playing God? Because presumably he looks relatively close to him if he was standing
maybe
in for him.
Maybe.
You'd think people up there would recognise him.
Yeah. Or unless it's just for an Earth audience who don't know what God looks like, in which case it doesn't really matter. Because if you think about it, the whole white beard is like, that's just a stereotypical what people think of kind of idea. The scene with the casting guy that was cracking me up when Cassidy just goes full he goes full role playing and he just pretends that they're from HBO and they're casting for Game of Thrones.
I love that at that point the music came in and did a mock Game of Thrones theme.
My favourite part of it is he goes through the whole motions, he's hustling with them and he's like, I want first class. And he's like, no, business, even Dinklage fights. Like, all that was pretty good, right? My favourite part is the way he kept, what was the guy's name? It was like, or something like that.
Oh yeah, the other guy, yeah.
Glinth or something like that. It was when Cassidy thinks, all right, we've done it, we've sorted this out, and then he's like, all right, no, we don't want your other guy, we want the guy we're here to see. He's like, I don't know where he is. He's like, damn it, Glinth, what are you doing to me, man? And that really cracked me up. It was the way he was really into character, and then he threatened that, you'll never work with HBO again, and yeah. Cassidy's always been the most fun part of the show.
There's been consistent since the start.
Yeah. So no, I think the things that I've always liked about the show are still there. It's really becoming apparent the more we go on that the core story I'm not into that much.
And I think I was okay with it in season 1, where I was like, okay, when they get to the actual material, now we're here and the problems are still there. Once I've really noticed them, I'm noticing them more, and it's detracting from my overall enjoyment.
Yeah. We really assumed that once they got to what the material in the books, that the pacing would pick up because they weren't killing time as much.
Yeah.
But it still feels like they're killing time.
Yeah, it does, and I don't know. It's just strange. I'm enjoying the hell plot with Eugene.
That was interesting. Where Hitler's kind of the sympathetic one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any strong feelings towards it, but at least as a core idea, yeah, it's interesting enough. Like I think
it's probably the most consistent part of the show at the minute. Like between the little bit we got last episode and what we got this episode, it feels like, okay, I get what it's doing for now, and it feels like it's telling a story. It's not. I think it's because it hasn't got all this filler alongside it.
Yeah,
So
it's to the point. It's telling exactly what it needs to tell for each scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of by being a side story and only having that little bit, it's benefiting a lot.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm glad at the end of the episode, Santa Killers was shown to be approaching the city, because, like, Jesse was going through that house just yelling it left and right. I'm like, God damn it, he used it last episode as well. He's supposed to be following the sort of sound of the voice, as it were.
Yeah, that's it. I don't mind him using it because he thinks he's got him off his back, but it'll be nice once he shows up again, I guess. And then it's like, oh, okay, guess we got to go back to not using it.
Yeah, I'll add that stipulation to using it that would hopefully make it a bit more weight to it, because you can't just throw it around willy nilly. We're basically deciding not to continue with Preacher, and I think it's the right choice to make, because as much as it's not the worst thing in the world, because it isn't, it's not necessarily a bad show per se. Like, we have a lot of issues with it, there's things to like about it. I think there's no point in us covering a show if we're kind of having to try and force our enthusiasm, where, why our conversations can be good and why they can be entertaining is because, we're watching Twin Peaks, we're watching Mr. Robot, whatever it is. We're passionate about it, we care, we're really into it, and we like bouncing the ideas because we really care about what's going on. When we don't care and we're trying to just kind of go through the motions of, we're going to try and theorize and talk about what's happening as if we do care, the conversation feels kind of phony, and I don't want to put out reviews that feel phony.
I agree. I don't mind talking about how it was bad, but that's only when it gets to a point where it's the same complaints every week now.
Oh yeah.
Like, at the start of the season, as we've moved on, it was like they've become more apparent. But now I feel like it'll just be, yep, pacing's still a problem every week. Yeah. Because they've set that expectation now, so there's nothing worth discussing in that regard either now.
Yeah, and because we don't care about the characters the same way we do in other shows where we really care about their motivations and stuff, because they feel pretty straightforward for the most part.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like they're trying, because they're doing the backstory stuff with Tulip here, and they're going to go, oh, this is why she didn't like marriage, because it's already gone wrong for her
because a little girl spat in her face.
Yeah, but I think it's going about it in the wrong way. It's instead of being interesting and then building from there, it's going, we've got an idea, now let's go back and make that work.
Yeah, I just think the writing and direction just isn't up to the standard of some other shows we like. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the plot, but I think Preacher does certain things very well, but when it's not doing those things, it's kind of tedious to get through, and that unfortunately is about 2/3 of the show, I'd say, per episode.
Yeah, give or take.
And I think when you get to the point where you've got two characters in a room talking to each other, and that's tedious, you're kind of out of the show at that point.
That's it, isn't it? It's just once you don't care about the characters doing what they're supposed to be doing, what's the point?
No, I mean, I think Cassidy's funny, and sometimes he makes the others funny, but I like the Santa Killers. I think he's pretty intimidating when he's on screen. Like, him walking just down the highway at the end towards the city.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's always a danger though that they'll do too much with him.
That's possible. It's a shame. It's a shame that after a relatively strong first episode, season 2, honestly, I think is weaker than season 1. And season 1 was already having its, it had some of its pacing issues. It had things we talked about, but I was hoping it'd improve, and instead it feels like it's.
That's it. I think I am disappointed because, as a general rule, most shows improve in their second season. Not every show, but most. And I think that's the expectation. When season 1's decent but has problems, you expect them to go away, realize what those problems were, and solve them over the break. And they just haven't done that at all.
Yeah, that's a shame. So yeah, this will be our last Preacher review. Apologies if you were enjoying them, but I don't think us trying to force them when we're not really liking the show is really. Like, there's only so much point to reviewing a bad show that we don't like. Now, admittedly, you're saying to yourself, but guys, you do Drunk Arrow. Sure, but Connor gets drunk for that, so and secondly, it ties into other things, and B, that's so bad that it's kind of funny to make fun of, whereas this isn't that bad. I can't make fun of this. It's kind of in that mundane area where I'm not that
Yeah,
into it.
definitely.
So yeah, so there you go. That's our episode. Obviously, we didn't talk as much detail as the plot points because again, there's not much why we really need to. It's more. This is more of a. This is more of a.
It's more why it's lost us rather than what happened.
I was going to call it a coroner's report, but that's yeah. Time of Death, season 2, episode 4. Almost cancelled, not anymore. I'm sorry, that was a bad pun. But that is us. So yeah, so let us know if you're still enjoying the show. Great, by all means, keep watching it. Power to you. But we will not be covering any more Preacher. So you can let us know what you do think of the show in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at @mail_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel and everything we do, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. Check out some of the bonuses you can get over there. But otherwise, guys, that is us. So thank you very much for watching once again, and we will see you next time. Have you got any vanilla?